So the power went out in the Washington, D.C. area after the storm this past weekend. Millions of people without power, but I know what you're all wondering is how did it affect Steve Moore? And here to tell us is our senior economics writer. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Hi, James.
So this was for you and for your family. This past weekend was kind of a learning experience as you suffered through 90-plus degree heat and no power.
Yeah, it was closer to 100 degrees, by the way. And what happened, of course, was Friday night, about 2 million people lost their power. We were one of them. And by the way, James, there are about 500,000 people that aren't going to get their power back until Friday. And the reason this was kind of a teachable moment for our family was, you know, my kids, and you have young kids, they couldn't believe that they didn't have access to their Xbox and the air conditioning and their, Google and their computers and all the things that we take for granted. And they were saying, gosh, this is like living in the dark ages without electricity.
Well, this is kind of fun because we've seen these sort of ridiculous claims on the left trying to tie a heat wave over the course of a week to global warming. And now you're saying, well, maybe the more powerful lesson, more valid lesson is, right, what would we do if we put limits on power production?
By the way, I told my kids, James, in the middle when we're sitting in the dark, I said, well, just think of this. We're not leaving a very big carbon footprint. That didn't make them feel very good. But, there is a bigger message here, which is how dependent we are on electricity and power. We don't think about it because, we always have access to it. And one of the points that I made is a lot of the environmentalists and a lot of the people in Washington want to shut down a lot of our major sources of electricity. You know them: coal. They don't want to build dams. They don't want to have nuclear power. Now they don't even want natural gas. And the question is, where are we going to get our electric power from? And I really believe, by the way, if the environmentalists have their way and continue to influence policy as they have for the last 5 or 10 years, we could see rolling brownouts in this country where we just don't have access to the electricity we need.
Well, you do, certainly for a large segment of the environmental movement, you do wonder what the end goal is because, as you said, for years they made common cause with natural gas producers, for example, right, against coal because coal was allegedly the dirty fuel we had to get rid of, and now we see natural gas as it's become ascendant and low priced, yeah, getting those same attacks from the environmental movement.
Well, James, if you were to ask an environmentalist, they'd say, well, we should rely on a renewable, quote, clean fuel. But the problem is, if you look at solar and wind power, which are really the major sources of energy that they want to use in the future, today, after literally tens of billions of dollars of federal subsidy, we only get about 3% of our electricity. So does anybody really think we're going to go to 50% of our electricity or so from wind and solar power? Not any time in our lifetimes. That means we do need natural gas, we do need coal, we need oil, and we need nuclear power, and the left is against all of those. And my attitude about this, my conclusion is, they want to go back to the dark ages, not just for themselves, but for all of us.
Okay, but you mentioned coal, natural gas, oil, nuclear. You mentioned a lot of the left is against those energy sources, but after this weekend, the Moore kids are all in favor of them?
They want whatever turns on their Xbox and their computers and their TV.
Okay.